Hey, you, friends, family, and strangers. As you saw right out there, there is now a full concrete foundation for that brand new apartment building, which is about to become a full-blown ass building. I myself don't really feel like I have a foundation because I am ashamed to say that I am hungover as a motherfucker. I don't know if I will be able at all to produce any type of interesting video for you today. The only thing I'm really able to do today is have the beer shits and slowly, with this headache, get ready for work and hope that I can get through my work night without, without going around begging my coworkers for like Tylenol and Advil. Because I feel like ass. I had 3 Dougies last night, but these were monster Dougies. And then I got so fucking intoxicated. I was literally walking around this apartment. I remember this. I don't remember the motivation. I do remember doing it. Was literally walking around this apartment, talking to myself, talking to ex-girlfriends that were not here, obviously, pretending or fantasizing that I had someone here with me. Then I came over here and was taking random little sips of Early Times whiskey, this one, and but before that happened, your boy had 3 Dougies, which is, if you don't know, a White Claw spiked with a shot of rum. But these were not normal Dougies. These were my big monster glass that you probably saw from yesterday with a shit ton of rum. Basically, I poured the White Claw in there with some ice and then topped it off with rum. Probably about 3 shots or more each. I had 3 of those. I fucking polished off that much of this black cherry rum last night. I don't need you don't need me to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyways. That was not a smart decision. That was also not an intelligent decision. Big difference. It is now time for the hangover treatment. Coffee and prayer and vitamins and a glass of milk. What I think will mostly help the hangover is to sit my ass right here. Sorry, I have to re-hit the recorder. A little technical difficulties. So if I forgot all about that and I put the intro slate in just now, pretend it's going to happen next instead of just now. What would probably help the most in my hangover state is to sit my ass right here and do as nothing as possible until it's time to go to work. So, with that riveting agenda ahead of us, I know you're excited to see absolutely nothing take place. Gather your things. And let's do it.
You're a loser.
I feel like absolute ass. Not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, sometimes at night, right before bed, I'll set up a time-lapse camera in the window to film the construction project behind me. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't capture any footage at all of that because there's not much going on back there. Or sometimes I'll just wait until I wake up to set up the time-lapse camera just to kind of see what's happening. But at any moment they're going to start doing the subfloor and the framing and all that. So I want to capture that memento. Well, last night, luckily in my drunken stupor, I did set up a time-lapse camera before I went to sleep, which I am impressed with myself because I was not in sorts last night. Whew, shit. And that was awesome because I did capture them pouring the concrete foundation and smoothing it out. And that was really cool because they came in with their big, giant, reachy truck with the big, reachy crane that pours the concrete. And at one point, it was all the way reaching to the corner. The thing was sticking straight all the way out. It was kind of cool to watch on the time-lapser. So, while I was asleep, and this hangover was fermenting in my skull, they were doing that. And I was capturing, in my sleep, I was capturing cinematic gold. My head is pounding. My stomach is bouncing all around. This will either make me puke or will make me feel a lot better. This is the breakfast of fucking hungover champions. Not this thing. Ew. But this thing right here. This is a burrito. 2 burritos, actually. Chopped up. Ready for the breakfast of shame consumption. Oh. Well, having breakfast felt great. Didn't quite help my symptoms. Head still spinning, stomach still doing backflips, but I don't feel hungry now. On top of that, that's fucking moving the right direction. But look, I got me this. The drink to cure all hangovers. Some water. A hangoverman's breakfast of fucking losers. Laying here watching a little bit more of The Godfather. It's helping my hangover quite a bit, actually. This movie makes you pay attention. That way you don't miss a subtle hint of a foreshadow of a murder coming up. Someone's getting capped on the I-5 bridge fairway. You know what I'm saying? These motherfucking mobsters were crazy as fuck, dude.
This is John Rogers. How are you doing today? Doing good?
I'm hungover like a motherfucker, Jim. How are you?
Is that your name? You got a very beautiful, unique name.
What's that, dear? Okay, whatever. Eat shit. There are different styles and stages of drinking and drunkenness. I have personally now experienced them all, and I am here to teach you them and how they work, how they're set up, and how they're executed. So please, join me. There's the social drinker. That's someone who drinks in moderation only in social settings as a way to fit in with the peer group and have fun and partake in what the host is suggesting we all do. Like enjoy some Chardonnay with some caviar, or maybe we're sitting around a campfire enjoying some Bud Selects. That's called social drinking. A social drinker is not trying to get drunk. A social drinker is not trying to avoid getting drunk. And a social drinker is certainly not trying to get fucking annihilated. A social drinker does not drink alone because that is not social to drink alone. I drink alone most of the time that I do drink. So I am not a social drinker. I am someone who enjoys the drink. Now, when it comes to solo drinking, or solo drinking whether someone's around or not, which is different. That means you're somewhere with people, but you're drinking irregardless, so it doesn't fucking matter. So they can say, well, he's a social drinker because he's drinking with people. That doesn't necessarily make you a social drinker, because if everyone went away and you were still drinking, then you were going to drink anyways. That's just called a solo drinker. I am a solo drinker, which means I drink whether people are around or fucking not, because I am a fan of the drink. Now, there are a few different kinds of solo drinkers, my friends, as we've already figured out. Allow me to explain. I got a rib cage itch. You ever heard someone say, I'm gonna itch my neck, then they go like this, or they're like, I'm itching my back? No, you're scratching your back because you had an itch. You're not itching anything. I'm not itching my neck right now. I'm scratching my neck because my neck had an itch. Big fucking difference between itching and scratching. The itchy and scratchy show! A solo drinker, with or without peers, is done in a few different ways. There's the drinker who drinks because they enjoy the taste. Those are called weirdos, because alcohol does not taste good. There's a solo drinker like me who doesn't really care a lot about the taste, however, thoroughly enjoys a buzz-on. The euphoric, relaxing buzz-on of a drink. That's called that solo drinker tier 2. That's someone who solo drinks with or without peers, not because of the taste. That would be tier 1, but tier 2 is a solo drinker with or without peers who drinks for a buzz-on. Tier 3 is someone who is avoiding feeling life and likes a certain level of chaos, and their goal is to get fucking annihilated drunk. I have dipped my toe into tier 3 water a couple times. Last night I went to tier 77, where you get so fucking drunk that it no longer becomes fun. It makes you nervous and you feel sick long before you get to the hangover stage the next morning. That's where I was last night. I was so fucking blown up. Fucking frosted house completely over, that I was starting to forget if I was doing things that need to be done, like do my video or what have you. Let's see if this is any good. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Today, Junior.
Hey, glad to hear you. This is Aria here.
Yeah.
I am calling to help you get the newly added Medicare benefits in this open enrollment 2025. It includes free medication, prescription coverage, food cards, and cashback of up to $250.
$250? Well, that's fucking pocket change for a millionaire like me, bitch. I sure do, Jim. I have Medicare Part A, B, C, D, and go fuck yourself, yes. Anyways, like I was saying. Okay. Oh, fuck. For some reason, that automated recording hung up. I don't think the program registered my response as something to move forward with. You don't want to get to tier 77 like I did, because it can cause your body and your life great harm. And some people cannot drink on any level. Their brain and their psychology does not fit in with drinking on any fucking level, because they just make choices that ruin relationships and ruin their finances and ruin their health, and drinking just motivates them to do that on an upscale level. Those type of people should never touch alcohol. So yeah, don't get to tier 77. I recommend tier 1 or 2, or social drinking. But in social drinking, keep it around tier 1 or 2. Remember, class, tier 1 is drinking for the taste. That means you're a weirdo because alcohol doesn't taste good. But some drinks are yummy. I enjoy my White Claws. I enjoy them spiked with a shot of rum. That's called a Dougie. By the way, if you take a cup of coffee with creamer and you spike it with a giant snap of whiskey, that's called a Douglas, another drink that I invented. And that is definitely tier 1 drinking, because the snap of whiskey in a cup of coffee is literally one of the most delicious things I've ever consumed. Like I only drank one because I could have sat there and downed 10 of them because it's so yummy, especially that blended Japanese whiskey in a cup of coffee. I'm telling you, is a fucking industry changer, okay? But I invented that drink, bitch. So don't go taking it. I'm not talking about Bailey's Irish Cream. I'm talking about a big ass snap of whiskey in a cup of coffee. That's called a Douglas. It's a refined drink. And I own it because I invented it, mother bitch. Last night I had Dougie's on steroids. I had I had my giant cup, my giant ass mug. I'm not even sure how much liquid. You could probably fit, I don't know. It's probably like a 32 ouncer or something. And I filled it halfway up with ice, poured a White Claw into it completely, and then topped it to the brim with rum. No, one of those to start the day, maybe. 1 shot of rum and a White Claw for your second drink. White Claw only for your third drink. That's the new thing. So when I'm hosting a party and you want to get turned up on some Dougies, that's how I'm going to serve you as the bartender. You're going to get a Mega Dougie, which is in the big cup, okay? That's a White Claw over ice, topped to the brim with fucking mango or black cherry rum, one of the 3, and you're going to get toed up. You're going to start feeling fuzzy-toed in a little bit. Then your second drink, I'm going to go ahead and serve you a regular-ass Dougie. That is a White Claw with 1 shot, 1.5 ounces of rum. Then, for your third drink, you're going to get a nice, good, even, blended buzz on, and you're going to stay that way. Your third drink's going to be a virgin White Claw, that's not the right way to say it, because a virgin anything just means there's no alcohol. Your White Claw is going to have 5%. I'm going to give you a Dougie-less White Claw, and you're just going to have the third drink's going to be just a White Claw to fucking fizzle your ass back out. Don't be like me. I had 3 Mega Dougies last night, and I was fucked. I went way past drunk. I went into the sick, nervous, no longer having any fun phase. That's exactly where I was last night, and I do not recommend. I don't want to ever do that again because it was not fun. It was not cute. It was not laughable. Nobody was laughing. It was just bad news. It was like you go from enjoying the rain to all of a sudden seeing a tornado cloud. Then you have to take cover. You being out enjoying the weather just turned into you taking cover from the weather. That's how it was. Damn, I'm good at analogies, even hungover. I'm a master teacher. Okay? So keep it tier 1 or tier 2. Passing a Dougie myself right now. Keep it tier 1 or tier 2, where you either drink for taste like a weirdo, or you're drinking to get a nice, even, blended buzz on. And that's it. Keep it there. Trust me, that is the key to happiness and having a good relationship with the Lord above. That is the key to happiness. I'm joking. The key to happiness is finding out exactly what you want to do and taking steps to achieve that goal, mixed with a good spiritual foundation. That is the real key to happiness. I almost said crappiness because I'm on the toilet. I can't resist making a joke no matter what I do. Shit, I'm a joke writer. What can I say? Fuck. You know what goes good with being hungover? Vomiting before you go into work. Luckily, I'm at White Castle to take care of that. You know, I avoid this highway at all possibilities. But today, however, it is the fastest direct route to work that I need since I made the foolish decision to get held up in the White Castle drive-thru for like 10, 15, however long it was, damn minutes. Whew. Made it to work successfully without puking from the white caskets and the hangover. Going in there and not shitting my pants, however, that is up for debate. And just like that, through the power of hungover movie magic, it is dark out. Friends, at work tonight, the entire night, I had a headache. A big, fat, throbbing hangover headache up until about an hour ago. I can tell you definitively, from firsthand experience, not worth the buzz. Big lesson learned. When you get a good buzz on, keep it on. Don't try to one-up yourself. Because then drunken you might try to even one-up your one-up. That was me last night, and it almost led to a fucking throw-up. And the first couple hours at work, I nearly White Castle shit pants my legs all the way down to the fucking back of the knee, but instead, I held it in tight, baby. That's weird. They made circle patterns in the paint for the roadway. That couldn't have been someone doing a fucking spinny do, could it have? Tonight at work, my neighbor and I were talking about our apartment community and its location, and I felt pretty good that I live there because of where it's located and what it's located by and what it's about to be located by as things are being built and stuff. And I was telling him that I don't know about you, but I am always walking somewhere to one of the restaurants or shops all around, and I love it compared to driving because it's so close to home. You can walk right over, don't have to worry about traffic. I guess you could easily argue you get there quicker driving, but I think it takes longer to wait at the red light than it does for me to just walk right over there. But anyway, compared to where I was going to try to live to avoid paying that first 3 months up front that they were requiring me to pay, but that was actually them working with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get in. So I got lucky for two reasons. I got a place, but I also got like the best possible place because the other apartment community I applied for and really wanted to get, they fucking said not even a fucking chance, cowboy. And I said, okay, well, fine. Do you have a pay in full option? You know, basically what I was thinking was, some apartments do. I have one being held for me right now that does. So how about you guys? But I didn't tell them about the other place. I just asked if I paid in full. And she said, she literally said, just like this, there is no way you could pay ahead before renting, and there's no possible way we would ever rent to somebody with bad credit, whether they paid in full or not. And I said, well, how about we put an email through to upper management and ask them? And she said, yeah, I could, but I already know it's not going to work. I take it like that. So I'm like, well, fuck you guys. Thanks for stealing my, whatever it was, $150 just to apply. Stupid backstabbing sons of fucks. And I know it takes resources to put it through the system and have someone check it and have someone call you back or email you about it and have someone sit there and make sure that you're income verified and background check verified and all that. But come on, $150? But maybe that weeds out all the motherfuckers who aren't serious about living there, that just apply to see what you say. If it's $150 to apply, then this person must be for real about living here type mentality. But anyways, that place that I got denied from would have been so much worse compared to where I now live, as far as where I'm at in proximity to stuff. The only thing, there is only one cool thing that you could walk to from that other apartments, and that's a restaurant. But would gladly give that one option up for the freaking near countless options of different things I can walk to from where I live. So once in a while, shit works out. You don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you fucking need, baby. And I need this place that I'm in now tremendously. I take advantage of it more than I ever would have the other place that I got denied from. So I was upset with them, hung up the phone and said what a biatch. But hey, they actually saved my ass, all things considered. Hard to tell rather what is out here because of how cloudy it is, blocking any chances of good moonlighting. But as you probably were told, as I probably mentioned, they poured concrete, further setting up the foundation of what's about to become a 3-story blockade, blocking my view of the airport over there. And it's way too cold out here right now, so fuck it, let's go inside. Come on, come with me. Come on, baby, let's do it. Brr. I have bad news. McDonald's, about a year ago, launched a different type of restaurant owned by the same company, McDonald's Inc., called CosMc's. CosMc's is a restaurant where you get like tons of different types of drinks, so different coffees, smoothies, all these kind of things. It's supposed to be like the McDonald's version of Starbucks. They're called CosMc. Get it? Cos and then MC apostrophe S. CosMc's. So McDonald's was founded by Mac and Dick McDonald's brothers, who had this crazy genius way of making French fries, where they would pour the French fries into a sink of water, and then the brothers would stick their whole hand in, their whole arm, and stir up the French fries, and the water would unload all the yeast and stuff, or starch rather is what I'm trying to say, into the water, and then they would drain away the starch and drain the fries, let them dry, drip dry, and then they would cook them in cooking oil. So anytime you hear someone say that at a restaurant your product was like deep fried in grease, make sure you let them know that they can't deep fry your product in grease, but they can in cooking oil. Grease is what's left on the grill top after a hamburger's been fried or whatever. Anyways, motherfucker. And then a man named Ray Kroc showed up, who was a businessman. He wanted something to eat. He noticed all these construction workers getting their belly filled and just falling in love with the products. And he asked them, why do you guys keep coming here? And they said, well, 2 reasons. It is so tasty and it is so affordable. They do such a good job at letting everyone have a chance to eat such a quick, delicious meal, blah, blah, blah. Ray Kroc wanted to put these guys on the map and basically saw an opportunity to make a lot of money with someone else's idea, because he had the money and the power and the connections to just replicate the restaurant over and over and over. And now it is a worldwide household name. It is one of the most famous, iconic, when you think fast food, everyone will say, you mean like McDonald's? It's like the OG GOAT, Mac Daddy, still to this day, fast food restaurant in the history of the universe. If you think fast food restaurant, you think McDonald's. You might think Burger King as a second, but Burger King doesn't cover the territory. McDonald's does. You might think In-N-Out Burger, which is out west in America. Doesn't even begin to cover the territory that Burger King and McDonald's does. McDonald's is literally worldwide. Everywhere there are McDonald's. Franchise and corporate-owned stores following the SETS standard way of cooking. The idea is to go into any McDonald's anywhere in the world and have the same meal that you would have at your local McDonald's anywhere in the world. And that has been driving business for decades and decades. Well, about a year ago, McDonald's wanted to compete with Starbucks. Someone said, we need to have our own Starbucks. That's called CosMc's. So it'll sound like Cosmix, but it's spelled CosMc's, MC''S for McDonald's. So that's do like frozen coffees, iced frozen frappe type things. So let's take the McCafe, which is, you've probably seen this logo. McCafe is a little coffee hut inside all the McDonald's in the world, and you can get McCafe drinks, coffee, delicious iced coffee, so on and so forth. And they have their regular ice cream products, shakes and stuff. Well, CosMc's wanted to put these shakes, these sodas, and these coffee products on steroids, make a whole restaurant out of them, and you could go get tons of different options, so much more than what a regular McDonald's restaurant would have. But you're not going to get hamburgers and fries at a CosMc's. You may be able to get a pastry. This is a direct competition with Starbucks. And CosMc's happened. There's a few in the Chicagoland area. There's a few in Texas. And I have CosMc's on my travel list. You and I were going to go to CosMc's, and that was one of my favorite places we were about to go. I have never been to one and may never get a chance. So I was very excited about CosMc's. I was going to go to one in Illinois soon. That was supposed to happen. However, I am very sad to report McDonald's has decided to not only stop adding CosMc's to the neighborhoods around the universe, but they're closing what little stores of CosMc's they have already opened. I think there's like 5 or something. I find that to be very sad. I really, really could not wait for a CosMc's to come to my town. I was like so looking forward to it. I am a big McDonald's fanboy supporter. A McDonald's restaurant was the very first job I ever had as a 16-year-old teeny bopper, and I fell in love with how the business worked. The customer-driven business, sticking to this quality standard, sticking to this is what we make, so we're going to bend a little bit and work with customers, but at the end of the day, we're only making what we make. And I just thought the integrity of the idea of what it could be if ran properly was always fascinating to me. When I first went in there and started working, I was young and believed in shit, you know, and you actually believe in your orientation at a job. Oh, really? That's the history of the business? That's cool, right? And then when you work for 20 years, you realize that a lot of companies are full of shit. A lot of managers are corrupt pieces of asshat and maggot fuck. And anyways, friends, I thought, man, I want to own a few McDonald's. I want to be a franchise owner. And the dream is not impossible. I can tell you this definitively, that I have a very unique, what I believe will be very successful idea for a few different restaurants. One of them is a fast food restaurant. I have unique ideas on food production in-house, product availability, and menu pricing. I have unique ideas that are not being done if I have the overhead and someone who's going to run my ideas off into the sunset for me, so I don't actually have to be there dealing with it. If that happens, then I will let you know. But I simply choose not to share that with anybody because I may want to try it someday. And I'm not trying to make myself sound more important than I am in reality. I'm not delusional, but it is literally possible that someone could steal these ideas. And then when I go to try them, they won't fucking matter. So anything worth value is worth keeping private. Just ask your mother. I locked her up last night. Oh, but anyways, please pay attention. I'm trying to tell you something. So I've always been a huge fan of McDonald's. Always loved the hustle. I remember so many times working that as a full-time job, and then years and years and years, on and on and on, I worked at McDonald's as a part-time secondary job for fucking years. I know more about McDonald's and how to run one, how to maintenance them, how to manage them, how to everything. Probably more than anything I've ever done on the clock ever, at any company ever, still to this day. I've always been a big fan of the Mickey D's, and I'm talking like mugs, weird kitchen signs that I would like have right on my kitchen wall that just had like a rare, weird McDonald's picture on it. I just thought McDonald's was OG and cool, and it's America. Fuck it. But anyway, sadly, my heart is destroyed. It hath been announced today in the news. Like I said, all the Cosmics are closing up, and there will not be any new Cosmics. Cosmics will be only something that we will see as a tiny paragraph on Wikipedia in the future when we look up the word McDonald's. There's literal pain in my heart when I think about that. That sucks so much ass, in my opinion. I wanted to road trip out to Illinois and film a Cosmics with you. And more importantly, I wanted to like count down the day whenever one would be in my town. I was into it, super into it. And yeah, that's not going to happen. So I thought I'd make a 11-minute piece of content about it. Sorry, what are you going to do? The show must go on, eh? But friends, family, strangers, on that sad note, it is time to pack up this campsite, piss on this fire, and head back to the apartment. I have to go, but if you want to help me out, you can do that by sharing my website, DougaloNation.com, and sharing my video links with all your dumb buddies, because a growing excuse you, a growing audience helps a growing audience helps the nation more than you realize. And what else? If you want to contact me, jump on DougaloNation.com. I got a little email address there at the bottom of the page just for you. And by the way, more definitely is coming to DougaloNation.com. It is still a single page startup site right now. There will be a whole archive there soon. There will be a whole directory there among other resources. But I gotta go, like I said, for now. But don't worry, I'll be back with you again, motherfucker. Unlike Cosmix, I'm here to stay. I'll be back with you again, like always, 7 days a week, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not primitive, rather premier time or prime time, standard time. I'll be with you again at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And time again. But until then, don't be like Cosmix and be a douche.